Yep.
3, 2. Oh, so pro. Welcome. Welcome to Bear Trap Podcast.
I'm your...
Oh my God, right. No, that's staying in. Yeah. Welcome to the Bear Trap Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Paul.
And I'm Jamie.
But you know that already.
Jay. I think it said Jay.
Well, Jamie's Jamie. Everybody.
Right, all right then.
Jay, tell them who we've just had on and who you are about to see if you are watching this.
We just had a lovely gentleman called Sankarshan Das, who is... Well, what can I say? He's like a leader, isn't he? Like a world leader of the Hare Krishna movement. Currently resides in America, but has travelled all over the world. Basically left America young to become a street beggar in India. And he's just worked his way up, and he became a monk. And
the guy's had an amazing life.
It's insane.
He bullied his way onto the stage, so he was in between the bands Airplane and the Grateful Dead. And if you like me, I know the Grateful Dead are one of the biggest bands. Bullied his way on, basically.
Yeah, he did.
Blagged his way onto the stage to perform in between them. He's met, which one at Beatles?
George Harrison.
George Harrison. He's met George Harrison. Travelled the world.
Yeah, it's insane.
And he's just all positive and just so nice. And as we say in the programme, I'm an atheist. Jay's an atheist. I'm kind of an atheist. It's all in the pod. Watch the pod. It's in there.
Yeah.
But genuinely, it was enlightening talking to him. And he sings 3 songs.
He does sing 3 songs, yeah. And yeah, something emanates from him, doesn't it? The happiness. The happiness just is infectious, and it's just... Yeah, guy's incredible. Really is incredible. So we've obviously post-recorded this.
Yeah.
So we have listened to him, and please stay with us and watch it. It's really cool guy.
The interview did not go...
No, I had loads of questions.
We had loads of questions, but when it's like a spiritual leader. When he talks, you just seem to just listen.
Yeah.
And he's just a natural born teacher. That's what he is. And if you believe in his religion or not, the most nicest fella. And he's invited us to India.
Yeah.
So we might be going to India for his birthday. How mad would that be?
I'll definitely try and make that happen. Yeah.
That would be mental. Absolutely mental. So we're going to try and make that happen. So keep tuned in case we do. If we don't...
He travels everywhere, so I'm sure we can get something a bit more short haul to meet him somewhere.
Yeah, India's not that close.
It's not that close. It's definitely doable, but we'll... The thought's there anyway. The drive's there to go.
But honestly, you're about to watch an interview with the nicest fella I've ever met.
Yeah.
And listen to his message. He's got all his websites. You can go listen to his...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
His teachings every morning. Well, it is every morning for them, and I think he said it's 7:15 in the morning. In the UK, that would be 1:15.
That's correct.
In the afternoon, so if you're on your dinner break, tune into that.
At livelectures.net.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to put all the links in the descriptions, because otherwise we'll be... Because he's got a lot of websites.
Got a book coming out, so you'll see that.
His book is already out. I'm reading it. It's been out for a few years. That won't be there because the green screen's not there anymore because it's that. That's your fault. I'll put a little picture here. Look, it'll appear here, Jay. Point to where it's going to... No, not there, Jay. See ya. Right. That's his book. Genuine. I've started reading it. It's not a lot of money. I think I got it on the Kindle for £3.
Yeah.
£2.97, I think. You can buy the paperback. Well, as I say, genuinely a very interesting read for what I've read. I was very honest with him. Our lives are that hectic, being these podcast superstars we are. Yeah. And also we have a couple of very, very, very big guests.
Oh, the next one.
I cannot wait, and you will not believe who we've got to come on this tiny podcast.
Yeah.
Well, we know we're not big, we're joking, but when you see the person, put it this way, they've been on Rogan.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. Follow us to watch that. We're not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to wait. That'll be out in about 3 weeks because Jay's going on holiday, leaving me. So there'll be no... It's fine, mate. It's fine. I won't miss you one iota. I will. I love this man.
Just can't tell me.
Yeah, I can't tell you to your face anyway. But genuinely a massive guest, and another guest after that, which I need to confirm the dates with.
Oh, yeah.
Also, genuinely a world superstar. And I know no one's going to believe me, but you need to follow, like, subscribe,
All
because
that.
you are going to be blown away by the next two guests. Genuinely.
We've done good. We've done good.
We've done more than good, bro.
Yeah, we have.
We've got a music superstar and somebody that's just been on Rogan in the past few months.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're coming on here, but they obviously
Took a chance, and they're lovely, and
thank you to them. But without further ado, here is Sankarshan Das and his journey to spiritual nirvana. Peace.
Peace.
Hare Krishna. I didn't know what to do when he bowed, but I just did it.
Very awkward at end. I loved it. That shit, I can't believe. I love it that it happens in front of me. It's everything I'm scared of.
I know.
And it happens.
I know, like, anyway, watch the interview. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Oh,
you.
good. Now we're connected. Good.
Ah, that's better.
Is everything good? You can hear us okay?
Yeah, is everything okay? Well,
Yeah.
we got a lot to do to change this planet up. There's a big mess going on everywhere.
It definitely is.
Got a lot of work to do. Got to roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Let's do it. Well, first of all, I'd like to say welcome to Bear Trap Podcast. So I'm Jamie, and this is Paul. Yeah, so first of all, what we like to do on here now is just we sort of just like start from the beginning, if that's okay with yourself. So like where you grew up.
What is it?
Just like where you grew up, like your childhood, things like that.
Yeah, typical American upbringing. They call it the baby boomers after World War II, and I got, my dad said, son, your college days is going to be the happiest days of your life. And I got that, I was depressed as hell. I went, oh my God, these are my happiest days. So I asked my old buddy from high school, he was at Harvard, he's a big Harvard guy. He said, I asked him what the meaning of life is. Life is a shit sandwich. You got to take another bite every day. I went, wow, that's pretty bleak. A shit sandwich every day. There's got to be something better than this, Whew. And I was an honor student in college. They couldn't tell me the meaning of life.
Right.
You work hard, get a degree so you can get a good job. For what purpose? So you work hard to get a good degree, to get a good job, to get a good wife, to get a good house, a good car, to get a good retirement in St. Petersburg and play a few games of shuffleboard. They put you in a good grade and put flowers over your grave every year until they forget about you. I'm sorry, it's not enough for me.
No, we completely agree.
There's got to be something better than this,
Yeah.
Simply work hard to die. It didn't make sense. I want something deeper than that, So I looked at what's called self-realization. I got cheated by a number of gurus, and but I still had faith. There's got to be something better than this, Got to be something better than this, and it's a whole long story. It's in my memoir. The whole story of how it's in my memoir, the Divine Love Memoir, out there on Amazon. The Divine Love Memoir. The whole detailed story is in there.
We will put a link to Amazon. We will put the link to your book in our description. It's
a really amazing story. I mean, what I went through, to tell it in detail, it took me 2 or 3 hours. It's a detailed story. So basically, I realized, this material world basically sucks, as they say. It's no good. And I get it. This isn't. I said, okay, my career path. What do you want to major in? What's your career? My career path is to renounce the world, go to India, and become a holy beggar in India. That's my career choice.
Right.
India, that was my career choice. Be a holy beggar in India. And but on the way, I said, wait a minute. here I want to deny everything in the material world, but deny. But then one night I realized, I was getting ready to head out for India. Well, wait a minute. If I deny everything, denial is also something. So I have to find something I can accept. Then I take it that, okay, I'm gonna make a difference on this planet. I'm gonna bring a new age to this planet. Instead of giving it up, I'm gonna stay in this world and make a revolution and make it a beautiful, better place for everybody. So I took my guitar and I hitchhiked out to what they call Haight-Ashbury. This was the hippie era was still going on. With no money, just a guitar and a suitcase. I headed out as a penniless hippie hitchhiker going to San Francisco. In those days, we had to keep a draft card. It was a 5-year penalty if you throw away your draft card. I threw it in the garbage can. And I threw my ID in the garbage can also. I had nothing to do with the material world. And I hitchhiked out to San Francisco and I started writing songs like anything. I actually shared the stage with the Grateful Dead in the airplane. And people really liked my music. But then I wrote one song. I was still interested in self-realization. And I wrote one song. Do you think I'd waste my time playing around in misery when I'm so close to nirvana? I really felt that spiritual realization was coming soon to me. But then the West Coast got kind of bad. There was the famous Altamont concert where somebody got murdered. It was supposed to be a Woodstock, but the West Coast Woodstock. So I'm getting out of here. I went back to Austin where I'd come from. And I became, here I got a picture of it. I became famous singer-songwriter on the campus at the University of Texas back in 1970. We're talking about.
Wow.
And but I was still looking for self-realization, and I actually was blessed with it. I realized that Jesus Christ was a self-realized person. What was his secret? I wasn't interested in just this what they call churchianity, and I go to church and pray for your daily bread. I wasn't into that trip. It was materialistic, actually. But I was looking for genuine spiritual realization. And one day I found it. Jesus says, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. Yeah, that's it. You got to do what God wants. But I had one problem. I didn't know what God wanted me to do. I don't know what my mission is. So anyway, when I was studying the Bible, I've been trying to figure out what God wanted me to do. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't hear any answer from him telling me what to do. So one day I was doing a little gig at a vegetarian co-op with my singing and my guitar. And it was kind of depressing. How big was the audience? Only one little girl. One little girl. That was the whole audience. In other words, something mystical happened, you guys. The little girl read my mind, and she came up and said to me after a song, she said, don't worry, God can hear you. I went, wow. That was a divine message coming to that little girl. So I realized now, instead of waiting for God to tell me what to do, I would ask him what I should do. And then Hare Krishna Swami shows up in town, and he showed me the practical way you could actually connect with the Supreme and dovetail your whole consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. So that was like, that was 53 years ago. So I became a monk, and I'm still a monk. Now I'm a married monk. But I'm still got my old songwriting bug, after sharing with the airplane of the dead, you get a little taste with singing songwriting. So I'm still doing my songs, but now they have a spiritual flavor to them. And you wanted to hear some of my songs I heard?
Yeah. Yeah, we will. Okay. Yeah.
Give you a sample.
Cheers.
This first one is called Turn On Your Soul. You might say, what does that mean, turn on your soul? I mean, that's right, you guys. Actually, right now, our soul is turned off. We're thinking I'm male and female, and we're misidentifying that this body is just a uniform or a garment you're wearing over your actual spiritual identity. So this first song is called Turn On Your Soul. In other words, right now, our soul is turned off, and now here's how you can turn it on. This song gets the key. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do you know who you really are? Do you know where you're coming from? Do you know for sure where you're going or what you will become? You're a temple full of knowledge and bliss. So remember and celebrate this. You're not of this world defend. Better tune in and turn on your soul. Do you know what happens when you die? Do you know what's beyond the sky? Do you think that body is you? It's just something that you're passing through. You're eternal full of knowledge and bliss. So remember and celebrate this. You're not of this world, dear friend. Better tune in and turn on your soul. We're told that everything happened by chance, that the universe has no person in control. But I see that every machine has got an operator. So the universe also has one. Yes, I know. Yeah, do you know who you really are? Do you know where you're coming from? Do you know for sure where you're going or what you will become? You're the eternal full of knowledge and bliss. So remember and celebrate this. You're not of this world, dear friend. Better tune in and turn on your soul. Yeah. You're not of this world, dear friend. Better tune in and turn on your soul.
That's very 60s. That
You have a spiritual identity sleeping inside of you right now, and you just got to flip the switch. Instead of living in a realm of temporality, ignorance, and misery, you can live in a realm of eternity, knowledge, and bliss.
nice. I like that.
This really works, it really works.
Did you back when you were playing music?
Yeah.
Was your songs very different?
Yeah, there was, I got, after 50 years of studying the science of spirituality, I've definitely got some realization I didn't have then. But the mood is pretty much the same. My enthusiastic mood to spread happiness is still there.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed. And my musical musical enthusiasm for making and sharing music is still there. Definitely.
What event in your life made you turn spiritual? I know you said, was there something big where you just had a...
I already had this spiritual nature, you see, because that's why I want to go to India, the land of spirituality. I'll tell you the whole story of how it happened. I was a young guy back there, back in '68, a young college kid, trying to find out spiritual realization. And I was encouraged, for example, by Bob Dylan. He had a song called All on the Watchtower. And I really like Jimi Hendrix's version. But in that song, Dylan says, there must be some kind of way out of here. So the Joker to the thief, there's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. So that was my position. I was very confused by this place, but Dylan said there's some way out of here. Yeah, there is some way out of here. So Dylan encouraged me by that. And then he said, there's many here among us who think that life is but a joke. You and I have been through that, and this is not our fate. So they take life as some joke, but I knew there was some meaning. So Dylan confirmed it. That Dylan really inspired me with those lines, and so I was looking for that. And here's what happened. One night, then there in Denver, Colorado, I had a friend named Patrick Dolan, and went over to his house to, hang out with Patrick. And his roommate said, "Oh, he's going over to Joe's place." I went down to Joe's, and they'd all just taken LSD, right? And looking for some, higher consciousness and an LSD trip. They invited me to take it with them. I said no, and I've been tried it so many times. No, thank you. I don't want to take an LSD. I should go home and go to bed. So anyway, Joe went crazy on LSD. He took all his 30s, went out there, record albums. I was smashing against the walls. He undressed himself, went naked onto the streets. He was smashing his fists into car windshields. And then he went door to door saying, there's LSD in the water. Can you give me any water? So they got away from him. They didn't want to be implicated when the police come, right? So they came. I was sound asleep in my apartment about, a couple of blocks away. All of a sudden, there was an impassioned but quiet knock on my door, and all the LSD trippers came in and said, don't turn on the light. Joe's gone crazy. And well, my friend Patrick, he started going, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. From George Harrison's My Sweet Lord. So he said, chant this to protect him. So I was looking for some meditation that would help me. I went through Maharishi. I got ripped off by Maharishi with a bogus mantra. But here was a mantra that my friend Patrick had great faith in. So I asked him about this mantra. He showed me, I went to his next day to his apartment. He showed me an article from the Saturday Evening Post about what's called the Summer of Love in Haight-Ashbury back in the hippie era. And the hippies actually, this was very popular mantra for the hippies in the Summer of Love. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I went, wow, here's something that was really appreciated. And this is something that my friend Patrick, let me check this out. And I found a picture of Krishna in a bookstore or wherever. I found a Bhagavad Gita, the ancient scripture. And the Gita said, if you offer your food to Krishna, he'll accept it. So, Krishna is a name for God in Sanskrit. So I was, wow, I never thought you could accept something to God to be accepted. I thought he was an old man with a beard standing on top of a mountain far away, But wow, I was offering my food to Krishna, and I was feeling some reciprocation from him. So that's why I wanted to go to India. So anyway, that's how I got into this whole spiritual trip. So I met the Hare Krishna devotees in Haight-Ashbury. I respected them. They were chanting Hare Krishna, but a monk, shaved heads, but not having a girlfriend, too much for me. I liked them, but I thought they were too far out, So I was associated with them. And I already been associated with the Hare Krishna, but I just didn't. And they invited me to come hear their guru speak, but I said, no way. I've been burned by. I was already burned by two gurus, once burned, twice shy, twice burned, thrice shy. So I appreciate them, but I keep my distance at the same time, doing my own thing. I thought I was doing something better than the Hare Krishnas were. But then years later, I came back to that, and I met a Hare Krishna who wasn't like to me, they were like soldiers in a boot camp, and no, thank you. But I met one Hare Krishna guy named Vishnu Janaswami. He was like a Pied Piper coming in with a whole magic mantra. He was a really amazing person. He sang so beautifully. His singing was enchanting. And he was also a singer-songwriter before he got into it. So he turned me around. I thought, well, I'll be a Krishna conscious singer-songwriter. George Harrison just come out with My Sweet Lord. I followed George Harrison, write spiritual songs like George. So that was my thing. I was going to write spiritual songs, throw away my mundane songs and write spiritual songs. But then one day, I'm not going to become a monk. No way. Forget it. No way I become a monk. Are you kidding? A monkey, right? But one day, George had produced what was called the Radha Krishna Temple album on Apple Records. And there was a beautiful song in Sanskrit. Samsaradava nalalita loka. It's an amazing story how the Hare Krishnas connected with George in London. That's a whole other story. Amazing story how George and the Hare Krishnas got connected in London. But anyway, George had produced this beautiful album, and I was really amazed. Because Hare Krishna was singing a song of devotion to their spiritual master. And it was amazing. I love a girl, I love my dog, I love my country, I love I love this. But the love for the spiritual master was a whole nother dimension. I mean, I started crying. I was so affected by the beauty of the loving feeling. So that convinced me I should become a disciple. So anyway, I can sing another song if you like.
Crack on.
Take it away, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a song about, this song was appreciated I got a nice letter from Barack Obama when he was president about this song.
Really?
I sent him a song and he sent me back a nice letter. See, reach in this thing here. It's called the peace formula. The word Billy needs it right now, really badly.
Yep.
Our world has become an unspeakable nightmare. Peace is destroyed by blazing warfare. Hell is breaking loose on this planet right now. And for stopping it, the leaders have no idea how. But here is the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. You'll see the night fail. Here is the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. Surely peace will prevail. We come into this world possessing nothing, and we leave from this world with absolutely nothing. But in the middle we fight and kill, claiming this is mine, neglecting the real owner who claims everything in time. Yes, here is the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. You'll see the night fail. Here is the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. Surely peace will prevail. Now listen here, all of you world leaders. If you want real peace, this you must now understand. There's a supreme proprietor to whom everything belongs. What you think is yours is just now slipping through your hands. Acknowledge that supreme owner, enjoyer and friend. Peace will come and this turmoil will completely, yes. Here's the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. You'll see the night fail. Here's the peace formula. Please take it, my friend. Please take it. Surely peace will prevail. Please take it. Worldwide peace will prevail. Please take it. Please take it. Please take it.
That is a message that we
very
all
good.
need right now, isn't it?
Actually, an ancient formula given 5,000 years ago in a scripture called the Bhagavad Gita. You have to acknowledge who the real owner is. You see, I remember when I was a little kid, my brother and I shared a room, right? But there was a line down the middle, his territory and my territory. And I was allowed to cross into his territory except to leave and enter the room. So this false sense of proprietorship is what causes all the wars. We come to the world naked, we leave naked. How we can claim anything as our property? Whether you're an atheist or a theist, it's the same thing. You see. So we have to give up this false sense of proprietorship and realize it doesn't really belong to me. So in this way, we can have world peace. And this is what I'm pushing forward with this song. And stop all these damn wars, killing innocent citizens. Can you imagine they attacked a children's hospital? It was in the Gaza, got hit. Children's hospital, can you imagine? Was it hit? It's horrible what's going on. It's just ungodly what's happening. So anyway, we got to push forward this message, and y'all are helping me. Appreciate it a lot.
Well, I think you know. I mean, I've listened to that song on YouTube, and my kids were singing it the other day. It really does need spreading, because I think this world is we're just a broken straw away from something catastrophic, aren't we?
It's failing in real time, yeah.
And all this lack of the global warming, drought, all these things are due to we're not connected, we're not in harmony with the Supreme. It's all a reaction, it's a karmic reaction. We're not in harmony with the Supreme. Whatever you talk about, drought or global warming, air pollution, all that stuff is simply a karmic reaction. If we get back in harmony with the Supreme, this stuff will go away automatically. These things that they can't figure out how to solve the problem, I got the solution. They'll just listen to me. I hope these leaders will listen to me someday. I'm hoping that they'll listen to me someday.
What is that message? I know it's in your song, but in your own words, without singing, what is the message to help save the world?
It's a very simple thing. This is not our property. Everything belongs to the Supreme. Whether you call him Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, there's one Supreme Person, the source of all existence. And it's not a measure of blind faith. It's scientific, logical conclusion. If you think about it deeply, there's a Supreme Person as the source of all existence, and that he's spoken in various ways in the Bible, the Quran, the Gita, in many places that Supreme is spoken. So we have to learn how to actually connect ourselves with the instructions of that Supreme Person. And this way, this is like when you water the root of the tree. All the leaves and branches are nourished. So when you feed your belly, the whole body is nourished. So you actually can give your loving service to that Supreme Person, the source of all existence. Guess what? Now your love goes to everyone and everything. You see, when you love the Supreme, your love goes to the root of all existence. That love goes to everyone and everything, even the dogs and the cats and the mosquitoes. What to speak of all the human beings? You see? So we all have a nature to love, right? If I don't have a girlfriend or a wife, I get a dog, right? Everybody wants to love. Our nature is going to love someone or something. We have this loving propensity. So loving propensity is meant to be opposed to the Supreme Person, with God, that Supreme Person. We take our love and connect it with the Supreme, then everything becomes so beautiful you can't even believe how beautiful it becomes. That's the message of all the great sages and saints throughout all of history. You see. But people take it as some sectarian thing. That's a misunderstanding. Religion actually comes from the Latin word religio, which means to relink with the Supreme. No matter which slope you climb to get up to the top of the mountain, doesn't matter. If you're in the top of the mountain, whether the western slope, the eastern slope, the southern slope, or whatever, doesn't matter which slope you take. When you get to the top, it's the same thing. So whether you come as a Christian, a Hindu, whatever you may come as, if you get to the point of love of God, you achieve perfection. So we're not into this religion or that religion. We're into the perfection of all religious systems, and that's the love of God. That's the basic message in a nutshell.
Very positive.
It is a very positive thing. So are you, obviously, the Hare Krishna movement's part of the Hindu religion, is that correct?
It's not. It goes back.
Is it further back?
It goes back. It has roots 5,000 years ago in the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, it's appeared in the West only recently. Yeah, when Swami Bhaktivedanta came, it was only in India. It became very popular 500 years ago with Lord Chaitanya, and the chanting and dancing and chanting Hare Krishna was popularized 500 years ago by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it only came to the West back in the 60s with Swami Bhaktivedanta, my spiritual master. That's right. In the West, it's only known since the 60s. That's right.
So when you say Sanskrit, is that, I know that's an ancient language, but it was, I've forgotten the name of the holy book, the
Gita.
The Gita.
Sanskrit language is the original language on this planet, actually.
Yeah.
Every language is a bastardization of Sanskrit, actually.
And is that when the Hare Krishna started? Was it from 5,000 years ago?
Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita it's our basic scripture we follow. It's spoken 5,000 years ago. It goes back 5,000 years. Yeah, Gita, Bhagavad Gita.
I'm actually going to read it. I'm going to purchase that.
We have Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's the authoritative one, and that will actually turn your life. That's, in other words, when you buy equipment, right, you get the owner's manual, right? Well, yeah. Bhagavad Gita is the owner's manual that comes with the human body. Right. It's the owner's manual. So read the owner's manual. You can see how to use your life in such a way you attain divine consciousness, or Krishna consciousness, or God consciousness, whatever Jehovah, Allah consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Bhagavad Gita will teach you how to achieve the perfection. If you want to be a Muslim, become a perfect Muslim. A Christian, a perfect Christian. A Jew, a perfect Jew. A Hindu, a perfect Hindu. Whatever you want to do, it will make you perfect in that pathway. It's really cool. It's super cool.
It does sound it. It sounds like kind of like it's got to be older than Buddhism, isn't it? Is Buddhism derived from that then? Are all religions derived from the Hare Krishna, from your holy book?
Yeah, they're all religions. They're different levels of understanding of the same basics. It's all the science of God. It's been presented at different times in history by different saints, but they're all different presentations of the science of God. Actually, in the Aquarian Gospel, we read that Lord Jesus studied in India. And he came back to Israel and just gave the ABCs of what he had learned, and they murdered him for it. It was more than they can handle. Lord Jesus studied in India, in the Jagannath Temple in Puri. It's described here in the Aquarian Gospel. He spent time in India before he came back to Jerusalem and taught this message.
Wow. It's it's honestly, I have obviously heard of the Hare Krishna movement. It's portrayed in films as like the hippie religion and such, and
it's really amazing how they connected with George Harrison. I can say, since y'all are in Britain, you might want to hear this story. But now what happened was, we had a little tiny, teeny-weeny little movement. We'd had one little center in New York, in the hippie neighborhood, and also in the hippie neighborhood in San Francisco, in Haight-Ashbury. So Prabhupada, there's a little tiny movement, maybe 20 or 30 followers, and that was it. And so Prabhupada sent 6 of these Hare Krishnas to London to start off a spiritual revolution in London. So they want to know, we want to meet the Beatles. That's where it's at, because the Beatles have the great influence. But there's no way you can meet the Beatles, right? I mean, there's no way you can go in and just meet the Beatles. They were too surrounded. You couldn't meet them. But there was some idea the Beatles had. They wanted to meet the leaders of the countercultural movement in London. So they had an announced time, we're going to meet all the countercultural leaders. But we weren't even recognized. So one of my members named Shama Sundar, some guys came in from San Francisco, and they were invited, but we weren't invited. So he said, "Can I tag along with you?" I said, "Okay." So they got in there, and they're all meeting they're all in a big room, and the Beatles in a different room, and they're all waiting when the Beatles can come. We want to meet with them. It's a big thing. How we meet the Beatles, right? So the Beatles came out. They looked at the crowd, and they walked away. But except for one, George Harrison. He looked at this crowd of people from the counterculture. He looked at this Hare Krishna guy. And he came over and said, "Where have you been, man? I've been wanting to meet you." So that's where it all started, you see. My godbrother Shama Sundar met with George, and that cemented the relationship we had with George from that meeting. So George did a great success. Actually, we have our headquarters in London. The Bank of North America was donated by George. So George was a great follower of our movement. Actually, he wanted to become a full-fledged Hare Krishna devotee, but Prabhupada said, "No, keep doing your music. That's how you can best present Krishna. You keep doing your music. You don't need to come and just become a monk like the rest of us. You keep doing your music. That's the best thing you can do."
Have you met any more famous people? Obviously, you mentioned have you met any more famous people through this? Like, I know you shared a stage with the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where was that, like festivals and
Well,
things?
actually, I begged my going to the stage. I was a pretty aggressive young singer-songwriter, unknown character. Right? I was known on the campus at Berkeley. I was a campus minstrel. I cracked the big crowds on the campus. But one day I thought, let me go to this concert. I begged my way into the stage. I was so confident. there was a space between the airplane and the dead. I went to the stage manager and said, can I sing a couple of songs? I was unknown, but I had so much enthusiasm and so much determination. He said, this guy must be good. I was unknown, but I begged my way onto the stage, let me do a guest set between the airplane and the dead. And the crowd roared, thousands of people roared, yeah, we really like this guy. And the MC said, my name was Steve Bridge before I became a monk. He said, that was Steve Bridge, you're going to hear about him. So yeah, I just begged my way onto the stage. An aggressive young guy who had no professional connections, and I was singing on the campus for free. And I had so much determination. Yeah, they let me on the stage, and they loved my sound, and they loved my sound. They loved my sound.
That's actually, you blagged your way onto the stage. That's
yeah, begged my way on, but I showed so much enthusiasm and confidence. This guy must be good. They let me on the stage. An unknown character getting on the stage. Playing the dead. It was the Polo Fields concert. You can look it up on the internet. It was a very famous concert, the Polo Fields concert in '69 in Golden Park in San Francisco. The Polo Fields concert. That's where I was. There's no video of it, but
no, we'll have a look.
You can see the airplane and the dead video. They didn't show me. They didn't video me.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Yeah. That would be a massive claim to fame. Fucking hell, today.
Oh no, just wait. Let me just think. Don't say anything. Hang on. Right.
Jay's tism and awkwardness. No. Right. Look at this.
It does show
we've just cut
video.
to this.
Sorry.
We've just cut to this so Jay can give you a message. And look at it. Put him on the spot. Blah.
No, what it is. So this is like an interval. So with if you're still here, which I hope you are, you've obviously watched the first half of the interview with Sankarshan. I'm sure you'll all agree he's lovely. And yeah, we just want to take this time to, if you do like what you're seeing, if you'd like to subscribe, like the video, share the video.
Press the bell.
Press the bell. Don't do that if you don't want.
Leave a comment.
Please leave a comment.
Just saying that you've seen us in this bit. That's it.
Yeah, because then we know you've got here, and that's the dream.
That is the dream.
That we know that you've made it halfway through.
And so without further
ado, let's get back to Sankarshan and let's watch the rest of the pod.
Gets better. Huh? When you became a monk, did you go to live in a monastery?
Well, the thing is, Hare Krishna temples are mini monasteries. See, Vishnudhan Swami came to Austin. He got somebody rented him a house. And it was just like, let's see, 1, 2. It was like 5 monks, and I became the 6th one. A little tiny center in Austin, Texas, near the campus. It wasn't a big established monastery. He came there and got a professor to rent a house, and he and his wife took one room, and the rest of us shared the house. It was Vishnujana. See, there was 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 6 of us, yeah. A little tiny mini monastery, you can say. We'd get up there in the morning, we'd have our prayers. Then we'd go out and chant them, dancing down the streets, and it was really sweet. This Vishnujana Swami, he sang so beautifully, actually. He was a singer-songwriter like me before he joined, so I really connected with him. Because his singing was so beautiful, you couldn't imagine. He was like heavenly nectar hearing him sing.
Wow. Was he Indian or?
No, he's American guy.
He was American.
I hate Ashbury hippie. San Francisco hippie, yeah.
A proper hippie.
Guitar playing hippie, yeah.
That's brilliant.
In fact, he knew the airplane before they became famous.
Right.
One of the guys, what was his name? I think it was Marty Ballin. He had spent I think it was Marty Ballin. I forget which one, but he had spent the summer living in a monastery to check it out for fun, and he came back with a song called Good Shepherd, which the airplane actually recorded. It was a Christian hymn. Can you imagine the airplane recorded a Christian hymn? If you want to get to heaven, over on the other shore, stay out of the way of the long-tongued liar. Oh, good shepherd, feed my sheep. Jesus was like the good shepherd, and the sheep is like me and the others. So this song, Marty Ballin, it was Marty Ballin. He was good friends with Vishnujana before the airplane became big. And then the Airplane put it in their record album. Mine was the Volunteers album. So Vishnu's on, we sang a duet of that song one day. Here we are singing a Jefferson Airplane song together as a duet. It was a nice song telling you got to give up. You want to become spiritualized, give up the association of materialistic people. You got to associate with spiritual people if you want self-realization, because we become like those with whom we associate. So the cool thing, if you want to elevate your consciousness, find those people with elevated consciousness and associate with them. We actually give an opportunity to everybody who wants spiritual association. I have an online course called the Ultimate Self-Realization Course, and I send out every day a broadcast, and I answer questions also. They can go to joincourse.com. It's for free. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I got thousands of people signed up all over the world, and I do around the world lecture tours too. I'm heading out in September for around the world lecture tour. Bulgaria, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, South Africa, Mauritius, India, Malaysia, Australia, and Los Angeles. Around the world tour. So I'm pretty active at trying to pull off a global spiritual revolution on this planet.
How many people would you say you've got worldwide?
How many people? What?
How many people, like followers, would you have worldwide?
Our movement has millions of followers all over the world now. We have millions of followers. Yeah, it's humongous, especially in India. My God, I mean, just like the morning worship service in Vrindavan, 1,000 people come for the morning worship service in one of our temples. 1,000 people every morning for the worship service.
Wow.
Yeah, a very big movement. It started off with one Swami. Can you imagine? One old Swami. But he only had 40 rupees, about $10 at that time. He had 2 heart attacks. He came after 2 heart attacks with $10, and he pulled off a global spiritual revolution, if you can imagine that. He had no followers, but some hippies noticed him there in New York City, and the hippie movement was really cool in those days. You want to be cool, you got to join the hippie movement, right?
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing in the 60s. Reject what we call it, the establishment, reject the establishment, and join the counterculture. That was the whole buzzword in those days. And the musicians were pushing it forward, like Dylan and the Airplane, the Dead. They were pushing forward this counterculture, and we were all into it as a big theme. And somehow or other, the hippies thought he was really cool, because he is really cool. And the hippies actually helped him get this movement started all over the world. The hippies joined in mass. The hippies became happies, we say.
It does seem like... sorry.
Hippies, 10,000 hippies joined him. What happened, and he sent them all over the world, and we opened centers all over the world.
I mean, it does have the same kind of message as what the hippies and the flower people that were there. It's all about peace and love. What happened?
This took the message of the flower people and expanded it even more. This went deeper into flower consciousness, you can say. How to actually flower your inner self. Your inner self is like a flower. It's the perfection of flowerism, you can say. Flowerism. Krishna is the perfection of flowerism. In fact, we had no money there in Haight-Ashbury, but my godbrother, he was roommates with the manager for the Dead. So we had connections. And they agreed to do a concert, a mantra rock concert to help all the donations went to help our center there. So, and Allen Ginsberg came in and led the chanting, and it was a big thing. The whole was thousands of hippies, and that night in the Avalon Ballroom were chanting Hare Krishna. And so Hare Krishna chanting became actually the anthem of the Hare Krishna movement, of the flower movement there in San Francisco. They used to go to the Hippie Hill and chant Hare Krishna. It was a big thing. Became really big with the hippies back in the 67, yeah.
What do you think happened? Because obviously, what happened to the hippies and like the Hare Krishna movement did slow down.
The hippie movement kind of died out because it was based on one thing. It was based on drugs.
Yeah.
Look at the example of the Byrds, right? You heard of the Byrds? Famous rock band. They're Jim McGinn. He was the lead guy of the Byrds. He got so many different drugs, and he gave out. He haven't got into religion, so he realized that he was going on. Elvis died at what time? 35 or something. He realized that this road is going to take me to early death. So Jim McGinn, for example, got out of the whole drug scene. And so a lot of hippies realize this, taking this drug and that drug doesn't really work to liberate you. So a lot of the hippies, some of them just went too far, like Janis Joplin. She died of a drug overdose. They either gave up drugs or they died of drugs. That's what happened to a lot of the hippies. They died of drugs or they gave them up. So I'm one of the ones that gave it up, and many of them gave it up. And they're still going on in different, Roger McGinn, he focuses on religion now. Can you imagine? He even sings, he does concerts even with old time Christian hymns, like, "You give me that old time religion. Give me that." He went from 8 Miles High to his famous hit 8 Miles High to singing Christian's hymns. Roger McGinn, yeah, that's his name, Roger McGinn. So yeah, some of them wised up and are trying their own way to raise the consciousness of the world, and some of them died of drug overdoses.
Yeah, I mean, drugs were a heavy part. You don't have to say, but before you started your spiritual journey, did you experiment with those kind of things?
Yeah.
Can
you imagine how weird it was? One of my friends told me that you take a whole bottle of Robitussin DM cough syrup, you can go and get a high from it. Can you imagine a whole bottle of Robitussin DM cough syrup? I did it. I did those things, and I tried LSD. I tried the big thing in Austin. We had peyote cactus. It grows wild here in Texas. I tried getting high on peyote. I tried Robitussin DM. I tried marijuana. I tried LSD, but nothing actually gave me what I was looking for. It's a temporary, a sense of higher consciousness, but it goes away.
Yeah.
You come down off your LSD trip or your peyote cactus trip. You come down again. So what's the use of? I'm going to stay high forever. I'm going to stay high. That's what I want. Not getting high. So this Hare Krishna chanting, you stay high. You don't come down. There's no coming down. You just get higher and higher and higher. So I've been getting higher and higher for the last 50 years.
No, that's brilliant.
Legal, and it gets you higher and higher and higher without any bad side effects. Why not get high forever and keep getting higher and higher and higher for year after year, decade after decade? It's cool.
I'm literally.
Yeah, I'm sold.
When this interview's over, I'm buying the book and I need to read this.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. The Divine Love Memoirs. How I discovered the most secret of all secrets. So.
It's interesting to me. I mean, I have had some drug use in my past, and that's why I said to you in the email that I think I was born in the wrong era.
Did you face any challenges or anything when you went abroad to India? What was that like living on streets?
Oh, I love India. In fact, I see India is my real home, and America is my second home.
Yeah.
I love going to India. It's really fantastic. I love the place. It's a really wonderful place. I have a couple of flats in India, actually.
Nice.
I've
never been.
You should maybe come sometime. You can meet me in India.
Oh,
actually, yeah. George also came. We have a temple in India called Krishna Beginnings Temple. George came there, and so it's a wonderful place. Krishna Beginnings Temple in Vrindavan. Actually, Lord Krishna, who is God himself, appeared on this planet 5,000 years ago, and his main place of activity was this place called Vrindavan. So it's actually there. You can even go there, and even the dust is sacred in that place. It's by breathing the air you become purified. It's so powerful place. Right. Vrindavan, India.
You have to send me an address.
It's near Delhi.
Right.
You fly into Delhi and take a taxi cab to Vrindavan. And if you come in, let's see, I guess it's October, I'll be there. And I have disciples, and they're celebrating my birthday in October in Vrindavan. So I can give you the exact date if you want to come and visit them. And it'll be a nice day when they're all birthday.
We can certainly see. What date is that in October?
Yeah, I'll give you the exact date. I can send you an email with the exact date.
Yeah.
Sometime in October is my birthday, and then the disciples celebrate the birthday of the spiritual master as a holy day. It's not like a birthday cake and blowing out the candles. It's it's a different type of birthday celebration, worshiping the spiritual. They worship me as a representative of God. Of course, I don't really deserve that, but it's my duty to accept it, not for their behalf. But,
Wow.
yeah, I'll give you the details by an email, the exact date.
Oh, yeah,
Sometimes-
please do. If we can make it work, we'd love to meet you.
Huh?
If we could make that work, we would love to meet you.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Why haven't you planned to come to the UK? Is there no Hare Krishnas here?
I've come to the UK before and stopped off. I'm flying through there, and on September 15th I'll be landing at London Heathrow and transiting on to Bulgaria.
Right.
But I many times stopped off in London and give lectures there. Yeah, I've done that many times. I have a disciple in London. I have a monk who's actually my disciple there in the UK.
I'm finding this really fascinating. That, so are you in the makeup of the Hare Krishna movement? Are you very high?
Well, I'm considered one of the leaders. Yeah, I'm called a spiritual master. I'm considered one of the leaders of the movement. Yeah, I'm not a manager, but they have the managerial. I'm not the managerial group, but I'm as far as the spiritual mentors. I'm considered one of the leaders of the movement. Yeah, I'm considered one of the leaders. That's right.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I've started reading your book, but there's a lot of things happening in my life, and I can't read very quickly.
That's a really amazing book. About the time I got arrested for distributing our magazine in a parking lot. That's all interesting story. It's called it's by the last chapter. Which side of the bars are you on? I was arrested behind jail, but I looked at the bars and I said, they're behind bars, not me. I'm liberated here in this jail cell chanting Hare Krishna, and they're the ones who are in prison, not me. That's the last chapter in the book.
Oh, well, can't wait.
Which side of the bars are you on?
Well, we won't ruin your book because I want people to buy it. I bought it the other day. And as I say, I'm very little in, but it's very interesting.
Feel free to write me. I give my time and energy to anybody who wants to take guidance from me. Just meet with me, even on the internet. I'm willing to give you all time, and if you're interested in self-realization, I give you all training and guidance. Step by step. That no charge is done out of love. So if you want to, if you look, or you're just curious, feel free to write me, and I'll answer you for sure.
Well, I am very curious because both me and him, we class ourselves as like an atheist. I'm not quite an atheist. I have a problem with some of the holy books and some of the messages. So
do I. A lot of it really turns me off because it's full of hate, actually.
Yeah, that is the bit that I don't like. But
that's not real religion. What they call religion actually nowadays is not real religion. Religion means to relink with the source of all existence. So you approach him with God give me this, God give me this, God give me this. That's not how you approach God. Give me this, give me. That's not religion. Real religion means to offer yourself in loving service to that supreme person. So they're not really truly religious. What they call religion we call it irreligion, actually.
I mean, that's what put me off religion. I mean, I'm talking when I
agree completely with you.
I got thrown out of church.
We're talking about the science of God, not some blind faith in a dogma. We're talking about the science of relinking your consciousness with supreme consciousness. That's what we're talking about. That's real religion.
Do you meditate?
Yeah, we meditate in the Hare Krishna mantra every day, and we have my prayer beads every day. I chant Hare Krishna is a meditation. It's a most meditation, actually, to meditate on the holy names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. We chant it many times on the prayer beads. Yeah, that's our daily meditation. In the morning, we chant as a meditation.
What does your day consist of, Jamie? We were very interested in this, like as a spiritual leader.
You wake up in the morning. Yeah, you wake up in the morning. What does your day look like?
What is it? Oh, the day?
Yes.
Yeah, we have worship service at 4 a.m. and we chant. Usually, I cook a breakfast. You see, our food is also spiritual. My normal program is to do some worship service in the morning, and then make the breakfast. We cook no meat, fish, or eggs. A purely vegetarian diet. and we cook a special offering and we have a special plate of each sample of each prep that goes on the altar. So whatever we eat is sanctified food. We offer, we keep, of course, the pot is in the kitchen. We offer a sample of each preparation on a special plate for Krishna, put on the altar and say some prayers and let him, and offer the food to him. And that food then becomes transformed from matter into spirit. And then we have a class, which is available. You go to livelectures.net. It's 6:15 a.m. Excuse me. Yeah. 7:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. You can hear the class every morning at 7:20. It's usually at livelectures.net. And I give a class. My wife gives classes, and you can hear our morning class. And after the class, we have the breakfast, and that's special sanctified food. And then we have different things like going on podcasts, or whatever, answering my emails. And so that's what the typical days are like. And the evening is also a worship service. So that's basically, we have worship in the morning, worship in the evening, in the day, all kinds of exciting things like going on podcasts. Emails,
Or traveling the world. I didn't know you were an international
going on
superstar.
worldwide lecture tours.
Yeah, I mean, so far you're the most famous person we've had on.
What's that?
I said, so far you're the most famous person we've ever had on the podcast. Like, how many disciples do you have?
Well, I'm a small. We have this. I'm the Hare Krishna Gurus. I'm a small timer. I only have about 400 disciples. A small timer. There's other many more than me, but I'm just a little teeny weeny guru with only 400 disciples.
Still 400 people though.
Yeah. It's more. Huh? It's more than Jesus.
Yeah, he has 12. I have 400. Yeah. I have 400 disciples. I have been all over the world. Austin, Canada, Europe, South Africa, Mauritius, India, Malaysia, Australia, South America, Chile, Mexico, Peru. I have disciples all over the world. Yeah.
That is genuinely amazing.
Have you got any sort of favorite experiences or moments from where you've been around the world? Anything that comes to mind?
Any kinds of amazing experiences?
From around the world.
Wow. Of course, many, many amazing experiences. Many, many amazing experiences. I just came from Toronto. I was there last weekend. That was an amazing experience. There's an ancient card festival. It goes back thousands of years. We had it in downtown Toronto. The police blocked off the streets. We had the beautiful carts. We drank, and then we went out to an island and had a wonderful celebration out there. It was a very wonderful thing. I gave lectures out there in a special tent, and that was all very wonderful experience. And I just had in Toronto, and then I did an initiation ceremony in Cambridge, Ontario. Beautiful. It was a nice little ceremony with all kinds of. That initiation ceremony was really amazing. I initiated 2 new disciples out there in Cambridge, Ontario. It was an amazing experience. We all packed in a little apartment, about 30 or 40 of us. We were chanting, and that was a really, really wonderful experience. Unforgettable experience, actually.
It sounds to me that you've just had the most amazing life.
Yeah, it's very peaceful.
Yeah, because like you, I went to college. We call it university.
Huh?
I went to university, and it was the biggest mistake of my life.
Oh, university. My brother said, "What are you doing? What are you going to do for retirement?" And I said, "Retirement? This is my retirement." My nature was never to work a job. It wasn't my nature to be. I never liked being a worker. It wasn't my nature to be a worker. The only job I liked was teaching guitar lessons, because then I was a teacher. You see, my nature was never to be a worker. I only worked very briefly a few times, but so in the Vedic culture, the ancient spiritual culture of India, there's 4 classes: the teacher class, the administrator warrior class, the farmer businessman class, and the worker class. So here in America, the administrators, the politicians are considered the leaders, but actually in Vedic culture, the teachers are the leaders. The king had a guru who was in the teaching class, and he would follow the instructions of his guru. So the gurus were actually the spiritual masters, were the actual leaders. They're called Brahmins, or spiritual teachers. They were the actual leaders, although they didn't take any big posts, they didn't get any big income, they lived very simply. But the Brahmin class or the teacher class, they were actually leaders of society, not the politicians and the warriors. So that's my nature, is to be in that a teacher class person. So I've been, by the God's grace, I'm able to do that. And these are spiritual teachers, my only business. I don't have any other thing on the side. I'm a spiritual teacher, and that's it. Many decades.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many decades is it now? Did you say?
I've had 400 disciples. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been a monk?
Initiating disciples, near the beginning of sometime maybe after the year 2000, maybe about 20 years. About 20 years, maybe. Wow. I'm turning 77 this year, so.
Are you? You don't look it.
Huh?
You don't look it.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to understand the spirit soul. Here's an interesting thing. See, we're actually souls. We're not these bodies, okay? If you ask me that my actual age, on a form, put down your age, I actually have to put the infinity sign. To be actually honest, my age is infinity, because the soul was never born and never dies. Krishna says in the Gita, Najayate mriyate kadakshim. The soul is never born and never dies. So my actual identity is I'm an eternal spiritual being, and I'm eternal youth. You see, even though my body is 77, actually my actual identity is I'm a youth. And I talk like a youth, you see. I come across with the charisma of a youth because I actually am a youth. Don't be fooled by the 77-year-old body. It's just a uniform. Not me. I'm actually an eternal youth who's of infinite age. That's my actual identity. And you too. You're actually an eternal youth, and your age is infinity. It's true of you too. So I want to turn you on to that identity so you can feel it, you can vibrate it, you can celebrate it 24 hours a day. That's my mission for you guys too.
Well, I'm going to tune into one of your lectures.
That's good. Livelectures.net. My wife and I alternate. Her lectures are amazingly powerful. I'm a little mellow, but she's heavy. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a little mellow, but she's really heavy. And it's real. The people love it, and they love her heaviness.
Yeah, but we will tune into your lectures.
That'd be super fantastic.
Honestly, I'm going to try and get to India.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to send you an email telling you the dates that I'll be, the dates when I'm arrive and leave from Vrindavan, and what day the birthday is too. I can even take you to some holy places, really amazing places when we're there. And
yeah, I'm really up for that.
Yeah. Try to book early because it's a very popular time of the year, and I would go out on the internet and book accommodations as soon as possible because it's very popular, and the accommodations are hard to get if you wait a long time. But I would book right away, go on the internet and book accommodations in Vrindavan as soon as possible if you're planning to come.
Well, we're definitely going to have a look into it because I would love to meet you. I really would. Yeah. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But before we go, have you got one message for the world?
Well, it's very simple. First thing is, do not continue to misidentify with your material body. Understand that you're an eternal spiritual being, and understand that the purpose of your existence is to serve the Supreme Spirit. Just like every part of the body serves the whole body. Your hand serves the whole body. So you are actually part of God, so your very nature is to serve God himself. That's the very nature of identity. The nature is like a fish is meant to be in the water. You are meant to serve God, whether you call him Krishna, Allah, Jehovah, it doesn't matter. He has unlimited names, but your actual purpose for existence, the perfection of your existence, is to serve God. That's my message. And if you do that, you'll enter in a new dimension beyond time and space, actually. You'll go beyond time and space to an amazing dimension where completely free from all turmoil and distress.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have one more song?
Yeah. I'm going to give you this is an insider song. See, I was actually thinking this is too esoteric for the general public. But the other day I got an email from a lady in Germany. She said, I love this song. Can I sing? Can I perform it? So of course I said yes. So this is a very esoteric song, but what it is, just like Dylan, right? You know the song Tambourine Man by Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dylan is actually saying, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, I'm in Ingle Jingle Jangle Morning, I come following you. And then he says, take me a trip upon your magic surely ship. and cast your dancing spell. I'm ready to go under it. So actually, Dylan is expressing the desire to have a teacher that he can surrender to. So actually, all of us have in our heart this tendency to want to surrender to a teacher. But so this song is actually a song of the disciple for the spiritual master. I'm inviting everyone to join that amazing world. So it's called Constant Journey. I didn't write the song. I learned it from some others. And it's an amazing, beautiful song. And it talks about Bhagavad Gita, which is our scripture. It talks about Krishna and Krishna's abode. And so let me go ahead and sing it.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can tune. Yeah, we're tuned. Okay. He's inviting you to come along on this amazing journey back to the original abode where we came from. This life is a constant journey back to Krishna, back to God. I'm naming Prabhupada here, he's my spiritual master. We are traveling on the highway that is lit by Prabhupada. Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? There's a real Bhagavad Gita being started on the road. Wondering why those mundane wranglers have to carry such a load. Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Now the Prabhupada to guide us. We will traverse every curve on the path to Krishna Loka, where Krishna is always served. Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? Won't you come along? This life is a constant journey back to Krishna, back to God. We travel on that highway that is written by Prabhupada. Won't you come along? 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 Why do you come on this journey with us? We're going back to that transcendental world. Why do you come with us? Come on, y'all. Join the fun. Hold on, won't you come along? It's a beautiful song, actually.
It is.
I didn't write it, but I love it.
Well, unfortunately, we've come to like where we usually stop the interviews. But do you want to just list all the places people can find you?
Yeah, Well, for emails, the best email is sd@worldleader.com. I've been instructed to become the world leader, along with my other God brothers. We're supposed to lead the world. So I have a site called worldleader.com. You can go there. For our music, you can go to turnontheworld.com. I have songs there. You can do free downloads there. Turnontheworld.com. You go to joincourse.com to get on my e-course. If you want to write me emails, SD, that's Sankarshan Das, SD at World Leader, just like it sounds, worldleader.com. My mission is to lead the whole world out of chaos, and I don't know if they're going to listen to me or not, but that's, I'm going to try either succeed or die trying to turn this world right side up. That's my mission.
It's a very noble cause.
Actually, my desire is to take birth after birth until this screwed up world can be put back in a proper condition. I want to take birth after birth until I can pull it off. That's my mood.
Well, I mean,
like lifetimes, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. That's my mission, to make this world a beautiful, happy place where God is the center and there's no wars, there's no exploitation, no rapes, no murders, no cheating. A beautiful place where everybody is saintly, and a beautiful divine atmosphere in every town, every village, and every hamlet, and every home. Where even the animals are happy.
Yeah.
That's my.
Well, you've made me happy.
You've got 2 new fans in us.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys are great. I love you. And
we love you too.
Yeah, why not?
If I can meet you in Vrindavan, I'd be ecstatic. And be really ecstatic if I can meet you in Vrindavan.
I will. We'll put all you. How many videos on YouTube have you got? The songs.
Well, I have a whole. I actually have many. If you go to Sankarshan Das, I have my disciples set up a whole. I have lectures out there. I have this world leader. They made this piece from. They made a music video out of it. One of my disciples, expert, the video guy, he made a really cool music video of a peace formula. You go to just type in Sankarshan Das on YouTube, and many things out there on YouTube. Yeah, Sankarshan Das, Sankarshan Das, DAS. On YouTube, and you find many stuff out there, lectures, songs, a lot of stuff out on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking. I only watched the video that you emailed me, and as I said, I was playing it to my kids, and they were all singing along.
Yeah, it was a cool music video.
Yeah.
And my disciple really did a great job on that music video. I'm really impressed how I put it together. Really cool. Even he had he had a camera up in the air. You remember that?
Yeah.
The camera up there showing us down on the top of a mountain somewhere. A really cool video. Wow. Really cool video.
Well, we'll try and get more people towards your movement, and even if they don't become Hare Krishnas, I think the message itself.
This is great for Christians, Jews, Sikhs, Jains, anyone, even atheists can tune in on what we're talking about. We're talking about a science, not a sectarian thing, but a science of reconnecting individual self with the source of all existence. Even the atheists have to admit it came out of something.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
So, we're teaching you how to reconnect with that something, which everything that comes. It's just like when I was a kid in high school, the teacher said, students, H2O equals water. Now we'll go to a laboratory and you can do it yourself. So we went down there, and lo and behold, I mixed 2 parts hydrogen with 1 part oxygen. What did I get? I got water in my test tube. So we're teaching you the science of how you can personally have your own realization, not have to take blind faith from somebody, from some dogmatist. We're teaching you to have your own personal realization of that supreme source, that supreme person, the source of all existence. How you can directly experience him face to face, eye to eye. This is a science, and it works. Like chemistry works, this works.
Well, I'm a biologist, so
Cool.
yeah. But I don't follow science not anymore.
Well, you guys have really been great.
Yep.
I'm ready for more and more podcasts. If you anytime you want to do more, I'm ready.
Well, when I've read your book fully, we'll have you back on.
That'd be great.
And honestly, I'm going to try and get to India.
Oh yeah, we'll try and make that happen. Definitely.
I've always wanted to go because, as I said, you would class me as an atheist, but I suppose I'm more agnostic. I don't know. I know there's something above me. I do, like you said, and I'm a scientist, so I'm not meant to believe any of this. But I know there's something bigger than us.
Yeah.
I do.
Something much bigger and more beautiful than this ugly mess is happening on this planet right now. So,
It could be a lot better, couldn't it?
yeah.
Well then, Sankarshan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
To you too. Thank you.
Yeah,
And we'll speak to you. I'll email you because I'll get all the links to put in the description so people can just
I'm going
click
to
on
send
it.
out to my 17,000 readers. They can all watch this podcast.
Good. I'll make sure it's a good edit then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. See you later.
Bye bye.
Yeah, see you in Vinavan.
Bye bye.
Yeah, see you then.